Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Street Photography Shots Explained. So today I'm going to go ahead and talk about two of my street photography shots, and on the second part of the video I'll go ahead and mention one of my friends on Instagram and talk about one of his images. So for the first shot, it is called Spring and Full Bloom, this shot right here. So for Spring and Full Bloom is actually, as you guys know, I take my dog to the Trinity River to walk him every day, and whenever I was there, usually I'm taking pictures. So I ended up seeing monarchs flying around, but my autofocus wasn't able to capture them, mainly because they were mixing too much with the green background, especially in this angle while I'm pointing down. So what I ended up doing is I ended up going after these moths because they were white, and the camera was recognizing them from the background much more easily. So I ended up putting my shutter speed like 1/600, and I ended up capturing this shot. So how I actually wanted to put this shot was that I wanted the foreground subjects to be the flowers on the right, and then the actual moths on the left, the three moths flying together, and then the background, the separation is blurred out. So, you know, it kind of gives you that 3D effect to where the moths are popping at you as well as the flowers, and it just draws you in. And that's honestly what you want to do with your images. You want to draw whoever you're trying to get the attention of or trying to show off your work to. You want to draw them into the image and make them really think about the image. And that's basically what I did here. Just you know, a spring shot of life coming back this year. And that's this shot. And now for the next shot, it is called Instant Portraits, this shot right here. So for Instant Portraits, this is a red-handed tamarin. So as you guys know, I ended up going whenever I was in Cologne, I ended up booking a train to go to Paris to, you know, go hang out and go do street photography and everything, because I had an extra day in Cologne. But that day, whenever I woke up, it was just raining. It was just miserable. I didn't want to be in Paris while it was miserable. So what I ended up doing is that I ended up going to the zoo in Cologne because I couldn't go to any museums because all the museums are closed. So I ended up going to the zoo, and I ended up seeing these tamarin running around the cage and everything. And why I call this an instant portrait was because they run around and they're just going through the branches and everything. But there was a moment where I actually ended up pointing at a branch, and as it was running around, it actually saw my lens, or saw my camera, saw me. Something catched its eye, but it ended up going across, and it like turned around and it looked at me for like half of a second while I was taking the picture. I clicked like maybe like 3 or 4 pictures at that time, and then the first shot was blurry, and then the two in the middle were okay, and then the last shot was blurry because it just ended up running away like as fast as possible. So that's why I call this instant portrait, because all of a sudden I was actually able to capture it just while pointing at a branch, not really following the actual tamarin going around the cage. So yeah, that's this shot right here. And then for the mention that I'm going to do today, I don't mention names whenever I do these things, and also keep in mind that I am not an expert. This is literally just how these images make me feel, or how I interpret them from how I see them. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt, but you know, I still like to analyze photos, so that's what I'm gonna do. But this is who I'm gonna go ahead and check out his photo today. And what I really like about his photos is that this is like candid street photography, right? You know, because the definition of street photography is taking pictures of people on the street. That is like the most basic like definition of it. But what I like about his is that he makes it dreamy. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is the image that I want to talk about right here. So dreamy, what I mean by dreamy is that a lot of his shots have a very heavy artistic feel. And what I like about them is that you see them, like for example, you're walking through a museum and you see his shots on the wall. You get the feeling of, oh wow, like, you know, all of these would look like something I would see in my dream while I'm, you know, if you've ever gotten that feel in pop culture and movies and everything, they always get that blurry sense whenever you're walking around in a dream and whatnot. That's what his images give me, like a heavy dream, you know, feel. It's kind of like when an author talks about a dream state or a dream that a character is having in a novel. This is usually what you picture in, you know, what we picture in our minds whenever we're reading. So what I like about this shot is it's a carousel of shots, obviously, right? What I want you to do is I want you to actually go, this specific image doesn't have a name, but the first image on it is this one. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to it and see all of the shots in this carousel. it's just stunning, and it draws you in instantly, especially the first shot, because most people, whenever they see a shot like this, what they do, or whenever they set it up, is they'll have the subject in the very back of the tunnel that you see right there, the tunnel, the leading line tunnel right there. They'll have the subject at the very end, and then they just expect you to, like, you know, have your eyes lead you towards the end of the tunnel, and then you see the subject. But what he does is differently, which is what caught my attention instantly, is that the subject is technically on the right side of the image, and he's using the tunnel on the left side to draw you in regardless. So the subject is in the foreground, and the background is still drawing you in, even though the subject isn't at the very end of the tunnel. So that's what I really, really liked about this. It's just like, it completely draws you in. And then I don't know if this person is holding a cell phone or something like that, but they're also like doing an action. So that also makes you think about, oh, what's going on here? Like, are they waiting for the rain to pass? Are they calling somebody? You know, it's just, there's so many thoughts that go through your head whenever you see the image for the first time. But what really caught my eye was that how he ended up angling it to where it draws you in regardless, even though the subject isn't at the end of the tunnel. And I definitely want you to go and see all of his shots. They're so cool. Like, I don't know how he does it, and I have a theory, but I'm not going to explain it because every artist has his secrets, and I'm probably going to get it wrong. But the way that he blurs his images is super awesome. Whenever you go through his images, it really makes you feel like you're going through a dream, and it's amazing. So definitely go check out his work. But this is the shot that I wanted to talk about today, and it's another form of inspiration that I draw from, you know, Instagram and the people that I end up meeting on Instagram that I hope to do street photography with at some point. But just in case you guys didn't know, I am going to Europe for 6 weeks over the summer. So whoever I get to meet up with over there and hang out and do street photography, you know, trade ideas, you know, just walk around, take pictures. Whoever wants to hang out at some point, I'll go ahead and put on my story. I'll put the dates of exactly where I'm going to be, because I keep changing the dates of where or how long I'm going to be in Switzerland. So I keep extending the dates on how long I'm going to be in Switzerland. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. But for sure, I'll be hitting up a whole bunch of major cities in Europe, and I'll be doing street photography almost all over Italy, and, you know, all through Switzerland, France, Spain, and then ending it in Scotland, but hitting up London before then. But definitely we'll be doing a whole bunch of street photography. But yeah, that's the shots that I want to go ahead and talk about today, guys. And thank you again for tuning in, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys next time.